Hello everybody and welcome back to All the Mods 10. In the previous episode we built the mining drill, also known as a tunnel bore and probably some other names as well. And we used it to dig down in the deep slate levels and find a ton of diamonds. We also made an automatic sugarcane farm, and that has been running a lot in the background here. I've also gone ahead and built all of the remaining bookshelves that we need, and actually got a few things enchanted. I basically just did the first enchantments for pretty much everything. We did get Silk Touch on the diamond pickaxe, we got Sharpness 3 on the diamond sword, Unbreaking on most things except for the leggings, and mostly just whatever we could scrounge up. What I want to do today is actually get started with villagers. In this mod pack, there's an extremely easy way to actually deal with and breed villagers, so we're gonna go and kind of explore that mod and hopefully get ourselves some decent enchantments from it, and get basically anything that we might need. I definitely want a way to trade wheat for some emeralds. And the goal is gonna be to try to basically have infinite emeralds. So if you're as excited as I am to get started with this process, why not hit the like button and subscribe? It helps the channel out a ton and lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content so far. And if you want to go one step further, why not consider becoming a channel member? It's the best way to support me directly, and you get access to all of my videos early. And so with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the Easy Villagers mod. The Easy Villagers mod is basically as the title describes it. It makes dealing with villagers so much easier. So we can basically put villagers inside of traders that'll allow us to just interact with a block instead of having to find a villager out in the wild. We can auto trade. We have the converter, which allows us to basically get better trades from our villagers. We can even do iron farms, which is definitely something that I want to do today. And we also have incubators, which just basically allows us to grow our villagers that we get from the breeder up. Before I can actually deal with villagers, I'm gonna need to actually find some. The village that we started out in, I think it was in this area right here, it was kind of small, and I don't know if there's going to be any villagers left over there. Now I do see this absolutely massive village down here to the west, so I think I'm going to head out to that direction. There's some, I think there might be a village here as well. So what I might do is head to the west inside of this spruce forest up here. If this isn't really a village, then we'll head down to the south here. I haven't spent too much time exploring this world yet. I've basically just stayed at base, so soon I do want to get some gear, and I want to get into the Ars Nouveau mod eventually as well, which will actually help us out a ton with exploration. Alright, and I've arrived at our first village here, and looking at the minimap, I do see some villagers over there, so fortunately this should be all that we need. I might explore around a little bit as well. I do see some coal ore here. That's kind of rare nowadays, so I might as well take that with me. So the way to actually get villagers in the Easy Villagers mod is pretty simple. All we need to do, I believe, is shift and right click, and just like that, we picked up a forager. So I'm probably gonna run around and just pick up everybody here. We need at least 2 in order to start our breeder, but if we can find more, that's definitely good. It'll allow us to jumpstart our villager production. By the way, if you see any of these green shirt guys, definitely don't pick them up. You can use them in the breeder. These guys are nitwits. They won't ever pick up a job. But yeah, like I said, you could use them in the breeder, but I prefer useful people. There is also still some loot here in these chests, so might as well grab and go and pick up that grindstone. And speaking of Ars Nouveau, we do have a Sourceberry here. I'm actually going to grab that because these can be pretty useful pretty soon here. Like I said, I do want to get into Ars Nouveau as soon as I can. Oh, a spectral wolf just appeared. Interesting. It doesn't seem to be aggressive towards me, so that's kind of cool. I wonder if we can capture it with a bone. Unfortunately, I don't have any on me, though. But what I was going to say is I found this sort of temple here, so I might as well explore it. I'm assuming... I just heard a witch. Uh-oh, there it is. I'm assuming this is going to be very similar to the ones in the desert. Here we go. Oh, and a creeper. So yeah, we definitely want to be careful when we go down below here. I see a bunch of buttons down there. Interesting. You know what? Let's figure this out. I've actually never been inside of one of these ones. And I think I know how this trap works. So those buttons are on the underside of the glass. So if we break the glass, it's gonna fall down and hit the pressure plate. So we definitely got to be careful here. I'm probably just gonna sneak around, do the old classic sneaky here. Uh-oh. I think I activated it. Dang it. I just hit stop recording too, so I don't know. Oh man, I think it blew up all of them. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I think what happened there was there was a pressure plate behind one of these, and a block actually fell down. Well, I tried to see what was here. And I found an umbrella from the artifacts mod. Let's see if I can figure out what this does. Softens the fall, providing safe landing from any height. When skillfully used, it can serve as a reliable shield. Oh, okay. Keeping enemies at bay. To use, you need to conduct the research. Now, I'm still not too sure about what I need to do for this. Okay. So I just clicked on that. There we go. Nice. Okay, when held in hand, reduces the player's vertical speed, negating fall damage. Pressing left mouse button propels the player backwards and triggers a cooldown of 1.6 seconds. The push can be used up to 3 times in succession before the player touches the ground. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, now that we have a little bit of XP, we can actually kind of figure out what some of these artifacts do. Oh, interesting. Okay, so to test this out, I'm gonna jump up here. Now, if it's in my offhand, I can't do the special ability, but if it is in my main hand, I can. So if you just left click, you can actually propel yourself backwards. That's very interesting. And you can only use it 3 times before it runs out. Yeah, this is actually a pretty nice way to explore things and get around. It also said that it could be used as a shield, but I can't right click it, so I'm assuming it just sort of acts as a passive shield. And I've just found a tower from Apotheosis, so I am gonna go ahead and climb up this. These actually contain these gems, and when we get more into the Apotheosis mod, we'll actually be using these gems a little bit more. And a lot of the times these towers are trapped, but looks like this one probably isn't. We did find another relic though, interesting. A simple burlap sack filled to the brim with deadly miasma. Interesting. Spore mist, okay. When the player's health drops below 50%, releases up to 7 homing spores around them. These spores deal damage equal to 22% of the player's missing health and block healing for affected targets for 5 seconds. Okay. So I think it's similar to the obsidian shards ability that we already have, but I'll take that anyway. We do have a few enchanted books in here as well, and I think that's our first apotheosis weapon. I did have a gray item, I think it was a chest plate before. So this is a caustic stone sword of the Maelstrom. On hit, inflict bleeding for 5 seconds. It also has plus 1.5 luck and 20% armor shred. Not too bad. Probably our diamond sword is still better than that, but it's definitely nice to get different weapons and stuff from apotheosis, as they can actually be broken down and used to create or enhance other apotheosis items. And here we are at the other village now. I believe that this is actually a mine colonies village. It looks like one anyway. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through and loot. I don't know if there's gonna be anything too interesting here. Just standard village loot. But this villager hat that I just found is actually going to be very useful while we're doing villager stuff. Reduces trading prices with villagers, making deals more profitable. Nice. And it does have 2 abilities that we can unlock here. I'm not too sure what they're going to be, but I'm going to go ahead and just get started on it. Innocent appearance prevents iron golems from attacking the player. That's actually very useful, especially if you're in hardcore, as iron golems can be pretty challenging to deal with. So let's check out this other ability as well. Let's see. Oh, I might not be. Yeah, unfortunately, we only have 47 experience points, and we need 50 to unlock even a single hint. So we won't be able to do this one quite yet, but it's definitely nice to have this villager hat. And I've also found a power glove. Okay. Let's go ahead and research that. Allows the relic bearer to perform empowered attacks. Ooh, okay. Again, we're not going to be able to... Why did you just sound like a spider? Oh, because there's one outside. I think that just basically gives us better melee attacks. By the way, most of these can be actually equipped here. Now, I don't know if the umbrella can be equipped anywhere. Should be able to equip that in the... Oh, I guess we could put it pretty much anywhere, actually. And with this spore blossom, we could put it... I think it said the charm slot. I'm not sure which one that is. I think it's that one. Oh, and it looks like we do have to be specific with the villager trading hat. That's a little bit unfortunate, but also kind of understandable. We do have our engineer's goggles equipped already. But when we're doing villager trading, we can swap them out. And there we go. I finally found one. A waystone. Waystones are incredibly powerful, as they allow you to basically teleport across the entire map. Now, this is my first one, so we're not going to be able to travel anywhere else right now, but it's definitely nice to have that actually discovered. And it looks like it'll actually appear on the map as well. Oh, and there is actually another waystone in this village, which means that we can actually pick it up and take it with us. So whenever we head back home, we can actually... Is that a bumblebee? Cute. We can take this waystone home and actually use it to transport back here to, I think this village is called Quarked. Interesting name. But I think I've pretty much explored as much as I can here. Obviously, there's still a few chests here and there that are unopened, and that's mostly because I'm just completely out of storage space. So I might head back home and yeah, actually get started with our Easy Villagers mod. And this is completely random. There was just a stack of blackstone here with some gilded stone as well, but inside of it there was an ancient debris. That's kind of cool. I'll probably not remember that this is here, so I'll just take it with me. So the first thing from the Easy Villagers mod that I actually want to craft is the iron farm. A lot of the recipes in Easy Villagers do require iron, so I might as well get started with that as soon as possible. And surprisingly, I actually had everything that I needed on in my inventory, so yeah, we can now place the iron farm down. And you'll notice that there is a zombie already inside of it, so there's no need to actually go and try to find a zombie. So all we should need to do now is put, I think it's just going to be one, yeah, just one villager inside. And over time, this is going to just start generating iron. If you right click it, you will see that this is the output. So what you can do is place a hopper, for example, beneath it and actually pull some items out. So I've let the iron farm run for just a little while working on some other stuff. And you'll see that we've already got a stack and a half of iron ingots. It's important to note that this also does produce poppies. So what I want to do now is actually get a system set up where we're basically automatically producing iron with these iron farms. I'll probably set up maybe 4 or 5, maybe a little bit more than that, we'll see. But I want to build a new building for this so that it's not just in my workshop here. So I'm going to find a place nearby that's appropriate for this kind of build. And I think I'm going to use tuff for this build. So I think I'm going to go with these rounded tuff bricks, sanded tuff, eroded tuff, which kind of looks like stone. And then we'll just use good old-fashioned Minecraft tuff for the last block, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys after I've built it. Alright, and here is the build pretty much completed now. Since my previous recordings, I have gone through and sort of added some more detail. You'll see that I've added these oak trapdoors all over the place. These are supposed to be sort of windows that have overgrown with some leaves and stuff. I kind of really like the addition of detail that it added. Kind of did the same with the oak door, though. This is more vine-y rather than leaves, but I think it gets the point across. So yeah, this is where I want to build my iron farm, and I think this is also just going to be where I have all of my villager trades as well. So this will be the trade house slash iron farm. And while building that, we have gotten about a stack more of iron, which is really not too bad. And I'm just going to take this over to the new area. But first, I do actually want to craft a few more of them. We are going to need a little bit more lava, though, so I'm going to craft a few more buckets here. And then I'll probably go to the nether. And I think if we do 9 more, that'll put us at 10. And that should be more than enough iron. So there we go. There's 9 more buckets of lava. And now we can craft the remaining iron farms. The one bad part about this, though, is that it's going to take a little bit of time to craft all of these. And I think I'm actually going to make this iron farm in the attic. So I've just built a few ladders here in the sort of first pillar. So we have pretty easy access to it. I will have to go through and finish the walls, I guess, in here. And I think something like this will work out, where we have enough room to still walk through, but these should be now very easily accessible. So what I'm going to do is actually use a mod that we have not touched so far, and that is the pipes mod. And it'll actually allow you to move around items, fluids, energy, to and from any sort of block that might deal with any of these types of things that can be moved around. And we can craft the item pipes fairly easily with just a couple of droppers, some iron, and redstone. And I want the items to be fairly easily accessible, so we'll put those right there. Now we get both poppies and iron from this, so we do need two storage drawers. But now we can go ahead and actually connect those with item pipes. I'm just going to run these all the way up to the ceiling, I think. Something like that. I am regretting a little bit building this building at an angle, but yeah, I think that's everything all connected now. And we will also need the pipe wrench from this mod as well, which is just crafted with 2 flint and 2 sticks, not too bad of a recipe. And now next to each of the iron farms, we just want to, I think it's shift right click, yep, each of these, and that'll sort of bump that end out, and that'll mean that it's actually pulling from that inventory. So let's get these all pulling out. And you can see already that we are getting iron and poppies inside of this container. Now, right now, we only have one of these working. We only have one villager inside of these, so it's not going to be producing much. So I'm going to go ahead and find various villagers from around and get these bad boys inside of here and get our iron farm producing. Now, in order to actually fill out our iron farms, we are going to need to make a few more villagers, so I'm just quickly crafting the breeder. And we're also going to need the incubator, which is just glass, wool, and iron. And the way that we're going to set this up is going to be fairly simple. It's going to be a little bit complicated. I think I want it over here, though. So I'll set the breeder up right there. And I'm just going to place 2 villagers inside. And I'm going to quickly craft an oak drawer. And I want the drawer to be, I think, up above it. Now, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to move that. And then what I want to do is place some pipes here. Oops, don't open that. And let's see if we can get it there. Here we go. And I'm actually going to have the pipe coming out of the drawer, and that's because this drawer is going to be filled with food. Now, I don't remember exactly if raw wheat will work for this or not. Unfortunately, it looks like it won't. Let's see if some steak will go in there. Yeah, that won't work either. But I do think carrots will work. Carrots work, potatoes work, and then I've crafted bread as well. That will also work. Okay, good to know. So for now, I'm just going to fill that with potatoes, and that'll start automatically filling the breeder with potatoes. Next up, I'm going to place another item pipe down here, and I'm going to grab our incubator, and I think I just want this to go... Let's put it there, and then we'll place the incubator there. That way it's kind of symmetrical. And what this pipe will do is actually pull the babies out of the breeder. As you can see, there is already a baby villager in here. Now I'm hoping that the item pipe will only pull out the babies from there. It looks like it is. And yeah, it's not even touching the potatoes there, so we won't actually have to filter the item pipes. So once the baby villagers are done growing, which is what the incubator does, it allows baby villagers to grow, we just want to pull them out from there and place them inside of a chest, probably. I don't think that they'll stack inside of a drawer. And this one's actually going to have to be a barrel just because there's a block above it, so that chest wouldn't actually open up. But yeah, we can upgrade this and increase our capacity eventually. By the way, these iron farms can get a little bit noisy, so if you want to actually turn down the sounds without actually modifying it through the menu, what we can actually do is hit E and click this sort of mute button here. And this will actually show you a list of basically every single sound in the game. If we search for Iron Golem, for example, we can actually see that there's a list of Iron Golem death sounds and hurt sounds. And if we just hover over the speaker on the right there, we can see that we can actually completely disable those sounds. So now I can actually hear myself think. And after a few minutes, we finally have our first villager. Next up, I want to talk about the trader. For the trader, you will need both a villager as well as a villager workstation. So for this, I'm going to use the lectern, and that will actually convert the villager inside into a librarian. Now, if we just right click it, you'll see that we can now trade with him in a similar way that you can trade with just a regular villager that's out in the overworld. We also have the cycle trades mod in this as well, which I believe is, yeah, assigned to C by default. So we can very easily go through and find any of the trades that we might need. There is also the auto trader, which allows you to basically do the same, just automatically, basically by using either pipes that we've used before or hoppers or anything similar. You can basically automatically put items into it and it will automatically complete the trade. It's very handy, but you will need a netherite ingot for each of those, so it can get kind of pricey. Alright, and a quick update, I have found the mending enchantment, which is not too bad. I only had to cycle for probably about 10 minutes before I found it. Alright, and it has been a little while, and I have been just continuing on working on the iron farm and getting villagers inside of here. As you can see, we have 1,000 iron now, and I've actually added a few upgrades in here. Just 2 copper upgrades, which will allow us to store 131,000 iron. And I've just gone ahead and added a void upgrade to the poppies. We don't need 2,000, let alone 300. So after it hits 2,000, those items will start to get voided. Now, I'm not too sure where the progress was at before, but I have gone ahead and added just a few farmers over here on this side. These guys are all going to be set up with probably wheat trades, probably potatoes and carrots as well. I still need to make farms for those though, so I'll probably be doing that in between episodes. But yeah, it's been producing quite a few villagers. And in order to get all of those villagers, we needed a ton of bread. So what I did was I crafted some fluid pipes and a sink. Now the sink is pretty easy. It's just made with terracotta, water bucket, and iron. And this acts basically the same as an infinite water source. So we can just pull water directly out of that and into the basin for create, and we can convert our wheat flour into dough. As you can see, that is full now, and I've just been manually placing it in here and pulling it out whenever I get extra. And while I was waiting for villagers to breed up, I did actually overhaul the looks of the tunnel bore. So I converted all of the wood into copper, so it looks a little bit nicer now. And I made this part as well. This is just a furnace and a curly deep slate pillar. It kind of looks like an engine a little bit, kind of, if you use your imagination for this. Then there's just a couple of ornate glowstone lanterns on the side. And then I also went ahead and expanded the number of drills. Previously, we only had these 9 in the center, so I added 4, about 11 more drills on there. And I also found out that you can actually use the barrels from Sophisticated Storage. I tried this out in a different mod pack, and it just didn't work too well. It kept deleting items, and the contraption wouldn't actually register that we had additional slots in the barrel. It just counted as a regular old barrel. Fortunately, though, in this mod pack, it does work, and even the stack upgrades work. I went through and was mining down in the deep slate levels, and I got a ton of deep slate. And of course, I also went through and upgraded my backpack to a diamond backpack, so we have just a few more slots here. And I also found a few relics while I was exploring in the nether. I found these vampiric gloves and the magma walkers. I don't think I had anything else, although I thought I had something here in this curio slot. Oh, it looks like it actually moved over to the charm slot somehow. I'm not too sure how that actually happened. Yeah, that was our spore sack. I think I already had that. I also found a space dissector, and I think it said right click with it, I believe. It might have to be in your actual hand though. Yeah, there we go. So we can hit right click with that. I think that created 2 portals. So there's one there. And then we can create another one there. I'm not too sure how this thing works, actually. It's supposed to create a portal that links up to another portal and stays open for like 9 seconds or something like that. So the idea is you're able to go through it and it links up to a different area. I don't quite know how it's supposed to work. It doesn't seem to be working too well right now. Let's see if I can research it. Okay, let's try this. I think you just hold down right click and then aha. Then release over there, and that actually links the 2 together. There we go. That's pretty cool. I don't know how useful this is going to be, but I might just keep it in my backpack for now, and if the time comes to use it, then I'll be sure to use it. Unfortunately, though, I am running out of time for this episode, so I think I'm going to end things there for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.